The Worrysaurus by Rachel Bright and Chris Chatterton. On a hot and sunny morning, under lovely clear blue skies, a little Worrysaurus was opening his eyes. And this page is filled with a huge jungle with green trees and the sun in the sky and some sand on the ground and gray rocks. And then there's a blue butterfly on one of the rocks and a pink butterfly and an orange butterfly flying in the air. And then we see a big cave made of rocks, gray rocks, and a tiny Worrysaurus is waking up. And the Worrysaurus is a tiny dinosaur with red and a white belly. And he has some drawings on the side of the cave. And his box with his teddy bear is sitting next to him. He brushed his tiny pointy teeth, then washed his top and tail. Here's the Worrysaurus brushing his teeth with his little friend next to him. And he's in the bath with the yellow rubber duck and some soapy suds on his head. He packed a little bag of snacks and set off on a trail. He skipped along with happy legs across the golden sand and thought about the day that he had plotted, sketched, and planned. And here he is packing his snacks, which are called Dino Bites. He's filling his lunchbox. He has a sandwich and an apple next to him. And then he sets off with his backpack. He starts on his way and he's walking by a little blue butterfly perched on a rock. A lovely, yummy picnic, a delicious summer spread. Worrysaurus liked it when he knew what lay ahead. Here's the Worrysaurus with all his drawings on the wall, with a map of him going to his picnic with all of his picnic foods. He's going to have, looks like a turkey leg and some fruit, like a banana, and some more dino bites and cupcakes. And on his trail, he has trees, and he drew himself and his cave and a river and some mountains, and he's laying out his plan with all of his things like his teddy bear and his box and his snacks all laying on the ground next to him. But he hadn't gotten far, you see. It hadn't been that long before his busy head dreamed up some things that might go wrong. Here's the Worrysaurus, and he has a thinking bubble coming out of his head to all the things that might not happen the way he likes. Had he made enough to eat today? Had he brought enough to drink? Often was a one to overthink. This Worrysaurus was often one to overthink. And here he is, and now the Worrysaurus is blue, and we see him thinking of his tummy grumbling and not having enough to drink, all in his thought bubble of what might go wrong. What if I get lost, he thought, or trip and have a fall? His happy legs were slowing to a snuffly, shuffly crawl. Worrysaurus liked it when he felt he was prepared. Unexpected happenings, they made him feel quite scared. So when we see Worrysaurus looking very small in a forest, dark blue forest full of tall trees. But when suddenly from nowhere a lizard skittered by, shouting in a very squeaky yelp and pointing at the sky. Here we see the lizard on the sand and his little prints running through. He's pointing up. It's a green lizard. I think a storm is coming. I heard it on its way. Well, that really put a cloud above his Worrysaurus day. Now we see the green lizard telling the red Worrysaurus about, with his green backpack on, with all of his snacks, telling him about the storm that could be coming. A storm, said Worrysaurus, when it's so dry and hot and sunny? But the news became a butterfly that flittered in his tummy. I'm not ready for the rain, he said. I haven't got my wellies. His teeth began to chatter and his knees, they turned to jellies. And all the while the sky was blue. The sun, it shone and shone. But now his lovely picnic thoughts were definitely gone. Here we see the Worrysaurus again thinking in his thought bubble about the rain and the cold and how he wasn't prepared and the things he forgot. He's very worried, even though there's no sight of a storm in the sky. Should he find a cave to shelter or run back home and hide? His little worry butterfly grew very strong inside. It's a big black page, and all we see is the Worrysaurus sitting on a rock with his blue butterfly with him, worrying him. But then he thought of something that his mommy liked to say. Oh, my little Worrysaurus, chase that butterfly away. Don't you worry now, my lovely. You must try not to fret. If it's not a happy ending, then it hasn't ended yet. And now we see the Worrysaurus as a baby and his mom. It was the same color, a lot bigger, and they're running through a yellow background, chasing the blue butterfly away. So he reached into his bag just then to find a little tin. It helped him with his worries. It had happy things within. A special stick, his teddy Ned, a pebble, and a letter. There we see the Worrysaurus opening his backpack and his stick and his purple teddy bear and a gray pebble and a white envelope with a letter inside. And he held them one by one, so everything felt better. And there's the Worrysaurus holding on to all of his things, and the little green lizard is with him, watching him smile and feel better. Then he put away his tin and all the worries in his head, freed his little butterfly for happy thoughts instead. I'll stand up tall. I can be strong. There we see Worrysaurus climbing up a tree with his lizard friend. All the worries in his head are gone, and he's ready for the adventure. I'll chase my fears away. All is good and all is well, and everything is okay. And there's the Worrysaurus swinging from the vines with his lizard friend, getting ready for his picnic. And with those little worldlings, he calmed his busy brain. Since when the sun was shining, why worry it will rain? There's the Worrysaurus and the lizard holding hands on their way. And then we see them jumping on rocks over water with some green lily pads in them. And then we see the Worrysaurus and the green lizard playing in a log. And then finally they're running towards their day because they're not worried about the storm anymore. So he shared his little picnic with the lizard and the sun, and they laughed at all their worrying and really had some fun. Since when you're in the moment, there's no need to run or hide. And then the only butterflies. There we see the Worrysaurus, red Worrysaurus, and his green lizard sitting on the sand by some trees and having a picnic. They have some cookies, cheese, strawberries, sandwiches, some water, and the turkey leg and the banana and a cupcake, and they're eating their snacks. And then the only butterflies will be the ones outside. And this page is so colorful and filled with all different kinds of butterflies. And they're green and orange, red, white and black, pink, purple, blue. Every single butterfly you can imagine are fluttering all over the page, different sizes, and fluttering around the Worrysaurus and his lizard friend while they're laughing and jumping around at their picnic. The end. And the end is the Worrysaurus running after the blue butterfly and chasing his worries away. The end.